everyone! Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for clicking on this video and telling YouTube that this sounds interesting to you. If you're new to my channel, my name is Em. I'm so thrilled that you're here because I love when people come and hang out with me because I'm a lonely soul. Anyway, it would mean the world to me if you click the subscribe button and click the like button if you like what you see today. Today's video is kind of exciting to me, as are most of my videos, I'll be honest. But today we're going to be playing with some Profusion palettes. Profusion is a brand that has flown under the radar for a really long time until more recently. So if you're interested in swatches and some Profusion talk, then stay tuned. I've got my coffee going, so hopefully I will not have any brain farts today. So let's go on a little bit of a journey. Let's go back to, I can't believe I'm showing you this, but let's go back to the days of my early YouTube days, like 2009. I remember watching Lauren from Panacea 81 and early Michelle Phan and Mischievous, who now goes by her name Julia Graf, Makeup Geek or Marlena, and so many others, and feeling so inspired to kind of dive into colors. If you didn't watch my throwback video where I recreated my very first YouTube tutorial, that will be linked up in the cards. It's definitely not a look for everyone. It's a gradient lip. But anyway, back then I was really diving into color for the first time. My classic look back then was a red lip with some mascara, no brows. I am so grateful for great brow products today, because back then the only real brow products that existed outside of department stores were those red Maybelline eyebrow pencils. You know what I'm talking about. And when you applied them, it was like too red, too everything, not pretty. So that was my brow game back then. Anyway, we're not talking about brows. We're talking about Profusion. I remember really getting into makeup, and back then I couldn't afford a lot of, high-end makeup. Being the penny pinching and deal seeking person I was back then, I worked at Ross. At the time, I really loved my job because I got to go deal hunting before everyone else did, because that was one of the perks of working there. And I remember when makeup started coming onto the shelves. Here is the very first Profusion palette I ever bought. I think this is Profusion. I'm pretty certain it is, because back then you could only really find it at Ross or TJ Maxx. And it looks like a little notebook, but then, ta-da! All shimmers and metallics. You can see which colors I really gravitated towards back then. I've hit pan on this orange. I hit pan on this pink, almost hit pan on this gold up here. And a lot of these shadows are well loved. I loved this palette. I would do gradient eye looks with this because you have so many different colors to play with. Looking back at this now, I think this is a hot mess. I probably would never buy this palette again. However, as I said, this is a really old palette. I keep it for nostalgia, more or less. I do have it marked with my Shop My Stash stickers because, I might want to use it again. I don't know. I feel like I could challenge myself to use really old makeup and see if I can get it to work, although I don't recommend it. Okay, so that was my very first experience with Profusion. I liked it. I felt like it blended well, but that was really all I heard about from Profusion for a long time. However, fast forward a few years ago, they kind of, I guess, reformulated and rebranded. I don't remember where I got this specifically, but is the Glitter and Glam 24 eyeshadow palette. I remember buying it thinking that I would review it. I didn't have time, unfortunately, but this is a perfect neutral tones palette. So I really liked this palette. I remember using it thinking, wow, this is pretty good. It reminds me a lot of some of the Urban Decay qualities that you would see. This one is obviously no longer available, at least I don't think so. So then fast forward to current times, and now you can find tons of palettes at Walmart and so on and so forth. I don't know if they're available at any other store. I know at drugstores they often have holiday palettes and collections. I don't know about any permanent line items, however. But Walmart has these beautiful palettes for only $10, and I'll tell you what, holy smokes, they are good. For $10 for drugstore type of brand, bargain brand, whatever you want to call it. So good. This is Mirage. You've got glitter toppers, you've got mattes, you've got satins, and you've got a couple of metallic kind of foiled shades in here too. I haven't worn the Mirage palette yet, but I have, however, worn the Gold Rush palette. And as you can tell, it is a beautiful gold palette. I think this might be a great dupe for the Urban Decay Honey palette. For $10, why not? I mean, you've got a matte yellow, you've got another kind of satin yellow, it's a warmer yellow with some glitter particles suspended in the formula. You've got this couple beautiful golds, you've got glitter toppers. Yeah, you've got some really great shades in this palette. So we're just gonna hang out and play with makeup. I've already got my face done. I'm gonna first do some swatches on my arms and just kind of play around and have some good old-fashioned fun. Do you like swatch videos? Not as a review necessarily, but just because they're interesting. Do you find them interesting? Let me know if that's something you're interested in, because I honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do when I'm just needing to wind down for the evening or just relax, or I'm bored, or I just need some color inspiration. I'll just go into my palette drawers, randomly select one, pull it out, and just swatch it all over my arm. Sometimes I post those pictures on Instagram if I can get them to look halfway decent. Other times I just don't, and I kind of rediscover my makeup that way. But anyway, I'm going to, and you're going to watch, hopefully, swatch through all 4 of these palettes, and then I'm going to put together an eye look using any combination of these. Okay, let's get to it. Let's do some swatches. Are you ready for some swatches? So let's just, for kicks and giggles, let's just play with this one. What color should I swatch? I feel like I need to do a live, like maybe a YouTube or Instagram live with this stuff. If you're interested in doing a live session, let me know and I can swatch fun stuff for you. Okay, I'm seeing this steel blue color right here that I really just kind of want to dig my finger into, and oh, that is beautiful. How about one of these hot pinks? Should we do the one I've hit pan in? That's not as bright as I remember it being. Let's do this purple here. That is like my favorite color brown for the eyes. Like this smoky, sexy satin shade. Oh, that's beautiful. Here we go, Swatch Fest with this old palette that nobody will ever be able to find again. Done. Okay, here comes the fun part. Wiping it off. Let's go into the Glitter and Glam palette. You know, I want to swatch Mimosa. This is this kind of soft yellow-orange. Let's go into Midas, which is this really soft gold. Let's do Showstopper, which is a really beautiful burgundy. Those are fun, right? Well, I'm done with this palette because it's kind of standard neutrals and there's not a lot of color except for like these shades here that I really was interested in swatching. Yeah, I think this would be fun to do like a live stream with. We're gonna go into Gold Rush now, which, as I said before, was kind of like a honey dupe. I want to dip right into this yellow and maybe this warmer yellow too. I'm gonna pick up Wow. It's the one with this mosaic look here. And it's got some glitter in it. It's so pretty. It reflects gold and it reflects a little bit of like this hot pink color. It's very, very fine though. And then there's of course a glitter topper, which is called Goddess. It's gold, but it also has some green in it. See, there's copper and there's green in here. It doesn't deposit a cream, like it's just pure glitter. Alright, let's be done with this Gold Rush palette, because these are like the special colors. I think the rest of them seem pretty standard. Get all that glitter off. Alright, let's go into Mirage. This one is bigger, 35 eyeshadows. So this one has quite a bit. This one has 3 glitter toppers, 1, 2, and 3. And it's got several satin and metallic shades. And then there's a few neon shades like this pink, this kind of reddish coral shade. So let's start with these bright shades here. They're going to be a little bit chalkier, but look at how bold and poppin' these are. If you want a really bright makeup look, alright, let's swatch. These are really fun. Let's do a matte for good measure, because these mattes they're very creamy and soft. Let's do this brown here, because sometimes these kind of taupey browns are really hard to do. And pow, pow, pow. Look at that pigment. So, what do you think? What colors? Oh shoot. Ah, shoot. I accidentally rubbed my arm on my face. Hold, please. Okay. All good in the world. What makeup should I do today? Should I do gold or should I do like a pop in pink? I'm kind of feeling the golds today. Let's do a bright yellowy orangey gold with some glitter on top. I kind of want to use this shimmering orange with some yellow and gold. That's what I'll do today. Alright, let's start. I'm going to take this Serendipity shade. It's a warmer orangey brown shade. I'm going to apply that with a soft dome brush. This palette does kick up a little bit, just so you know, but it doesn't affect the quality at all. Usually I would use a base, but pow. I had a little fuzzball in my brush. Someone is hammering in the background. I have no idea what they're doing. Earlier I heard them playing with a nail gun. Well, maybe not playing. That's probably not a nice way to say that, but I did hear them with a nail gun earlier. So they must be doing some home improvement or something. I need to actually work on that today too. I need to finish retexturing a wall. I need to paint my ceiling, and then I need to prime my walls once they're done being textured. And then paint those, and then I have to paint the trim and the baseboards, and then I need to redo the flooring. That's a lot, right? Next, I'm going to take kind of a flatter shading brush. It's a little dense. So I'm going to go into the Glitter and Glam palette and pull this Bark shade right here. It's one of the darker browns. Pat a little bit here on the outer corner. I'm just laying down the color for a minute here. We're kind of going with a retro color here, right? Fix that shape there. I'm going to go in with that same brush from before. Just soften up those edges. Kind of blend that inward a little teeny bit just to soften it, get it softer here. Yeah, these blend nicely. I can't tell you how much I love just sitting here doing my makeup on days where I just have kind of a rough start. I was supposed to go to my acupuncture and I drive into the city for it. I have to go downtown Seattle, and I live a little ways away from downtown, and I get there and they're telling me that I don't have an appointment, which was concerning. Like, what happened to my appointment? And they're like, well, you're not even on the books. I'm like, is it on a different day? Like, did they schedule me wrong? Because I was on the phone with you guys last week, and this is the date and time you selected for me, because there's not a lot of openings, and my entire appointment just was not there. And so I wasted time, and if you know downtown Seattle, you have to pay to park. So I have to pay to park to do what? Just find out that there's no appointment. So I was not too happy about that. So I was over it pretty quickly, and I was just like, no, never mind, I'll just go home. And then I was frustrated. There were a bunch of drivers who just don't know how to drive. They'd cut in front of me and then would slam on their brakes. And then I would have to slam on my brakes too, because hello, I don't want to rear end them. It just happened over and over again. So I had to stop and get myself some coffee, because it was one of those days where I'm like, you gotta treat yourself. When I got home, I was like, I gotta treat myself to some makeup. So makeup is my therapy along with coffee. Let's go into this beautiful orangey copper shade right there. It's like a penny, copper penny color. So I'm going to use a really small flat shading brush for this one. Like, if you're willing to, you know, spend some dough on, you know, like Natasha Denona or Urban Decay or any other like higher mainstream brands, then I mean, save yourself some cash and pick up some Profusion palettes. e.l.f.'s another great one, but today is all about Profusion. Blend it over that brown just a little bit. And take that same brush from before and just soften that brown up a little tiny bit more. Swipe this across. I'm going to dip back into the light yellowy orange from before. Just kind of re-intensify that area. I think I applied just a little too much brown there, because it's a little muddy, but just kind of blend that down. I'm wiping off my brush in between just to pick up some of that pigment. Yeah, this is like a really cool tone, and then this is really warm, so I'm not liking that as much. So I'm going to dip into Brown Sugar from the Gold Rush palette, but I'm using it to just add a little bit here in this corner, just to add a little bit more depth so that it's blending into that orange a little bit better, because it's got more red in it. Alright, already I like that a lot better. Sometimes it takes a little while to get that right. Wiped off the brush, let's go back in. That's better. For the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to take this shimmering gold color called Shimmy. I'm going to pop that here in this inner tear duct and just kind of slightly shimmy that over that orange here under the bottom lash line as well. That ties that together really well. Then I'm going to take that same warm brown from before, the Brown Sugar, and just pop a little bit of that here. Alright, do I want to do glitter? I always want to do glitter. What am I talking about? But I really don't want to detract from that orange, because that orange is beautiful. So I think I'm going to be good. For the brow bone, I'm going to go into Mirage and take this second shade here and use that as a brow bone highlight. So let's zoom out a little so you can see how bright and colorful that is. Alright, I'm going to apply a little bit of black liner and then some mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So many of you know I don't wear false lashes except on rare occasions, so I'm just not wearing them. I don't like wearing false lashes most of the time because I have a small lid space and deeper set eyes with a slight hood as well. So when I wear false lashes, it hides all that work I put into building this beautiful makeup look, so I want it to be seen more easily. I love this combination. This is like my new favorite thing. Alright, so for the face, I'm going to just take this Mosaic blush powder, whatever. It's called Mosaic Powder from NYX. I've been using this and loving it because it just does everything that you want a bronzer and a blush to do, but in one product. So I'm applying that with a slightly dampened brush just to keep it from getting a little too powdery on the skin. For lips, I'm going to use another NYX product. This one, I don't even know if they still make it, but it's called Frosted Flakes. It's a lipstick, and It's a peachy frosted nude. So frosted flakes. I don't know why they call it frosted flakes. I would think that would be more orangey, but to the just a little bit of gloss over the top that's in that same tone family. This one is Nude Beach from Dis or DLS. I got this in an Ipsy bag, so I have no idea. I'm skipping highlighter, don't need it. I know I'm controversial. So this is the finished look. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Profusion palette is. If it's one of the ones that I currently have, or if it's one that I don't have that you think I should check out. Let me know if you would like to see more looks with these palettes. I'm happy to oblige because hello, they're gorgeous. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Again, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button to be notified of any upcoming videos I do. I'm trying to do 2 or 3 uploads a week, so keep an eye out on your subscription feeds. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and stay healthy, stay safe, stay well, stay happy, stay whatever. Stay electric as always. Mwah. Bye!